anything. Is there a way for me to grab it? It should start streaming now, but wow, it had turned the stream off. Is there a way for me to capture these? Video storage. Yeah. Oh wow, so this whole stupid thing has not been online. Wow. Technology. Gotta love it. Yeah, they can go to
Technology.
twitch.hutchdog so they see where we are right now, basically. Alright, anyway, that really sucks.
Now I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, because I would have been perplexed as to why this wasn't working. Now I know. Had a setting turned off. Anyway, are we all back now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So, what do y'all wish to do at this time?
Still traveling. I'll talk to the guy, just tell him like victories and stuff like that I did and stuff like that. Just kind of talk to them.
Okay. So some more time passes, and as you're traveling, let me get to my notes here. So Trotzenwald is basically a small rural town in the Mero Valley in the western Windermere region, right? The town is bordered by blue waters of the Ulstaloch. It's a Germanic pronunciation, Ustaloch. It's kind of a lake that kind of spills off into the mountains, or actually the mountain spills into it, right? Pardon me.
Bless you.
And of course, it is ruled by the Dwalian Empire. It has served. The town is notable because of its unique strain of grain and wheat that grows here. The young lady that's with you, she tells you that it's. There were initially a lot of brewers, but 3 families now survive. Some say the soul is special. Others say it was back from the time before the Divergence that these lands were blessed by the Archmages of the past. And she kind of giggles at the whole idea of that.
Oh, this is the breadbasket of the Empire, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the Mero Valley up north of you. She says to you, correcting you. Past Felderwin, actually. That's where all the crops are being burned, I understand. From the Kryn dynasty. They're horrible.
Uh-huh.
I heard that was the case of mistaken identity.
Whose identity? She says, kind of like, what? Not quite understanding. And she goes, oh, wow. There's more than one of you. She points off beside the town from where you currently are. And you see another tabaxi kind of looking in y'all's direction. His green eyes jumping out. He's got a dirty gray fur. But
there's another kitty.
I'll go play.
It's almost 7 feet, but not quite tall. And a bit of an obese build about him. But as soon as she points in this direction, he turns and dashes in between some buildings as you're heading towards town and disappears from sight.
I chased after him.
Sure.
I watch her go.
I'm like, oh, there she went.
Y'all see your friend Pandora just take off. Back to y'all.
Agility.
As y'all make your way into town, some people kind of nod to y'all. The caravan you're with, they said, well, we're going to be up by the docks for a little while refilling. So you can check back with us there. We'll be leaving in a few days. Possibly a week.
Lexi, if you want to check out the town for any more of your kin, I don't mind, but you want me to go after Pandy? Just to kind of hang in the back just in case?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
No, she's fine on her own, I think.
Okay.
So, Pandora, you take off running through the buildings and stuff. You catch the scent in the air. Make a Give me. I guess it'd be survival.
Nature. Nature?
I'm trying to remember which one it is. How to track somebody.
Nature.
Let me look at your character sheet here real quick.
Nature.
Becky, let him do it.
So, I think I want you to use your perception because you're both of the same race and you're able to kind of persuade, move, and get out of the way. Yeah, so make a perception real quick to see if you can track him. Oh, yeah.
Hmm. I lost my friend.
So you realize that the Tabaxi's been kind of clever. It's kind of backtracked several times and around and about, and you realize you've kind of gone in a circle between several different buildings. You realize you've moved around some buildings as you come across a warehouse in this area on the outskirts down near the lakes, and you can smell the it's almost like a bayou kind of smell in the air, freshwater smell coming from the mountains. But and there's just people loading crates and stuff and wagons. Some are unloading and almost either loading up to other wagons to ship somewhere else. It's kind of like, what's their job exactly? But you realize he's obviously confused your senses here, and you've lost the trail.
I call out, meow meow.
No response. Several of the workers kind of stop and look at you, kind of, oh, it's a big cat, and go about their business. Your ears kind of.
I slowly go back towards the center of town.
All right, to where your friends are, you think, or?
Yeah.
All right. So after a bit, you do find your friends. Let me get to my things here. What do y'all wish to do in the town?
I would like to see if there are any shops with weapons or armor available.
All right.
I'm looking to upgrade if I can find something nice at a reasonable price. I'm not actually I'm window shopping at this point. I'm going to send a human in to do my actual bartering or haggling. Right now I'm just looking to see what I can see.
I will go with you
Thank you, Raphael. I accept.
because I also have the highest charisma of the party, probably. So.
Yes. Thank you.
Uh huh.
So you kind of ask around. You kind of told you might want to check in the North Ward. That's kind of where the industry and stuff. That's kind of in a direction that, well, not quite, but close to the direction that Pandora had taken off.
Hey, Pandora, we're going to head up north. You want to come with us? Oh, sweetie. I stroked Pandora's fur on her head. Well, if I can reach it.
You're really not sure why she took off, so just don't assume character knowledge versus player knowledge. You know, she did take off.
Look, she's sad. You can tell just by looking at her.
I know.
I'm stroking the fur. What happened, Pandy?
I thought I saw something exciting. But
Was
then-
it shiny?
No. But then I lost it. And I kind of got lost for a little bit. And so I came back.
Well, perhaps you'll see it again one day.
Maybe.
All right. So y'all make your way into the North Ward, moving around and about, looking for. You're trying to find what kind of weapons you're trying to find, Blix.
I am trying to find a sword, preferably a rapier, and I definitely need more arrows.
Need more arrows. Need better armor. Medium.
I also could use a better armor if I can find one.
I'm tired of being so squishy. Too squishy.
You are squishy, Raphael, but we love you for that.
All right,
Well,
one
if you
second.
find some plate armor, you can have my chainmail, and I'll take the plate armor.
You know, chainmail is noisy.
I mean, for Raph.
Oh,
It's heavy armor.
I need medium. I'm actually at a disadvantage with heavy. So
Oh. Well,
You're
Yes,
kind of walking around. You find one shop. You think that has the equipment, and it's a young lady who's there, but you realize, oh, actually, it's just a like a one of the old showpiece armors that you would see like in a castle. It's just really a showpiece that she has out front to attract people. And as you go in, you realize she's selling herbs and spices and other poultices and things of that sort.
Oh,
Uh,
I look around. Did Zeddy come with us? She might want some of this stuff. Is Zeddy with us?
Woohoo! Hey, you guys just came out of somewhere?
Yeah, Zeddy, there's herbs and shit.
Ooh, herbs and shit. Let's go in.
what was that?
And
Yeah, you kind of walk in, and this young lady goes, "Oh, hot!" And she sees Zeddy there, and she quickly eyes her up and down. As oh, she's got robes on. I see a spell book off to the side of her. She goes, how can I help you? Are you looking for components or something? I have many things.
Robes. Any of them enchanted? By any chance?
I don't actually have robes. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
said she saw your robes and realized that you and your spell book off to the side. But she goes, I do have common components that you may need for your spell casting, and she kind of smiles, trying to be nice.
Let me look.
I go in also, and I ask for the only spell component that I need is bits of paper from a holy book.
She kind of looks perplexed by this. She goes, what perhaps a temple not too far from here. There are some here in town, but most don't want their books torn, she says,
Right.
raise an eyebrow at you.
Yeah.
By any chance, do you happen to have some ritually burnt wood?
Ritually burnt wood. You mean charcoal?
No, wood.
Just burnt wood.
Yeah, it's actually for one of the spells.
Okay, so what's it say in the spell description?
I have one up. Let me pull up the other one. Hold on. I'll get back to you. Sliver of glass. That's easy to maintain. What are you ripping up? Hold on.
About phosphorescent moss.
sounds fun.
While you're looking that up, do the rest of y'all stay there and wait, or do y'all move on to other places?
I'm going to go ahead and move on.
Well, I want to ask, do you have any like old, unknown, like trinket artifact type things?
I mean, old trinkets, spelled artifacts. I'm sorry, I just don't have that available with me.
Okay.
I will tell you though, the Empire has come through and taken most items that deal with healing magics. They're going to be hard to find.
Oh.
Is there something in particular you're looking for? And how long will you be in town?
Probably about a week or so.
Are you heading north or south? As she kind of like is taking some of the stuff that Kat's asking for and putting it in the bag. She goes to the list. She goes, if you're heading north, I know some merchants southward of here. Well, you'll have to go through the gates, and I really haven't traveled past that point.
Yeah.
Although there's a city at Nicrodanus.
You've been there?
Myself, no. y'all gonna be wintering there? She asked you.
I think so.
Oh,
I really want on a boat.
It's beautiful, and I hear the salt is really good for your skin. They have some amazing baths here. Oh, and we do have some baths here. Perhaps you should consider them. Uh, well, they are expensive. It's more up in the noble area of town, but if you do have the funds, the bathhouses here are very nice. They treat you really well.
I'm not big on water.
Oh, I'm sorry. She realized that's a kind of a racial thing. She goes, I didn't mean any insults. I do apologize.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, by any chance, do you have any ashes of burnt leaf of mistletoe and sprigs of spruce?
She goes, She kind of goes around. She goes, I do have mistletoe here. You could certainly burn it if you want. And she points to she goes, some spruce and other common plants here. That would be a silver for, just a small satchel of it, bag of it.
Okay, that's great. I'll give you a silver for that. And by any, do you have any small crystals, crystal beads?
Crystal beads?
Yes, crystal beads.
She goes over to a box, opens it up, and kind of rolls around like marbles almost, and there's all different kind of colors and stuff. You can pick what you want from it. She says.
Okay, thank you. How much for each?
How much do you need?
Probably about 5 for now.
She goes, well, they are hard to make, so they're about a silver for 2.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take 6.
Okay. She kind of looks at the rest of you. Anything are you needing, or perhaps I could give you some advice or point you in the right direction?
Is there a maker of cloaks here or specialty items?
Well, all through here there are different merchants who and people who do make clothes. They have a word for that. What was a medieval word for cloth makers? I'm sure they had it. I can't remember. But there are people here who do specialize in clothing and such. Yeah.
Okay, great. Do you have anybody particular, or is there just a bunch random?
I think the word is fancier. Excuse me.
Clothier.
Clothier? Sturdier clothing is what I'm looking for.
She looks at your cloak. She goes, like leather jerkins and things, or fabric.
I don't know how thick is my fabric right now. Would you say for just the basic?
You bought something that was road worthy. So.
I mean, it's the basic that it came with, so I wouldn't know if there would be a thicker material versus leather for robes. I don't think I've gotten a robed character in a while. Yeah, the last one was the wizard when I was playing with Joe as the. Was it Joe? Yeah, Joe is the DM. That's been about 7 years.
1 second here. Let's see.
Yeah. That'll determine if I want to go ahead and go with something, because the heavier you get in your robe, it's almost like armor. So when you have to take it off to sleep, you can use it for whatever, but it also makes you encumbered.
She goes, you can, Asher Morningfall, not too far from here, is a clothier. Perhaps he can direct you in more what you look for, but I've seen him do cloaks and custom stuff. He even deals with like the more thin, softer leathers. But
oh, great.
That might be able to help you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for the kindness. And here's your 4 gold.
Oh,
2, 4, 6, 7 gold. 7 gold.
She thanks you very much and pockets the money and and she hands you some catnip.
Gold, silver.
She goes, "Here's some catnip for your friend. Maybe she may like that, but unless of course it offends her. But many of her type like it." And she smiles.
Thank you very much. Have you seen anybody else of my kind lately around here?
She goes, "No, I haven't."
Where's a good place to hang out and see people? Like, do people watching?
She goes, "Well, the Market Square is actually a great place. This is a great place to see people going by and going about their business. It's quite wonderful," she says to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, and the docks. Lots of people coming in and out of the docks. The fishing stuff. It attracts a lot of people to come down and buy fresh fish as they're brought in.
I do like fish.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the Nestled Nook Inn is another place you could check. It's a nice place too.
Thank you. I will check those places out.
All right. Y'all continue looking for. I think it was Blix that was looking for to get some equipment.
Yes.
Yes, you kind of ask around, and you do hear a place called Breckton Supplies. It's run by a dwarf, and it's closer to the water area because he does do a little bit of smithing there, and so the water helps with his work.
I head that way.
All right.
Hang
I'll
out
go with
at the store and see if I can keep an eye out for that gray tabaxi.
Right. Okay. So where are you going to now again to look for the tabaxi?
To the armory with Blix, but I'm going to hang out outside
Okay.
instead of going inside.
All right.
Going with Blix also.
So yeah, Blix, you make your way in, and whoever wants to go into the place, and it's it's kind of like a barn almost, but much lower roof, and you see this particular smith, Brickton, he seems mostly to work with repairing common equipment for horses and wagons and things of that sort. But on the right hand side, you do see some rather exquisite armor that's still in good condition off to the side. And maintained fairly well, but you can tell just by some of it still has some dust on it. It's been on display for some time.
Can I tell what kind of armor it is? I mean, is it leather, chain, plate?
It's a chest plate armor. It's like the whole upper breastplate part.
Any weapons?
You see like some axes, some hammers, some very simple swords and stuff just here off where the armor was, but not a whole lot. That doesn't mean it's his full collection. And he kind of looks up as one of his assistants is kind of pointed towards y'all as y'all come in. He kind of eyes you with one of his eyes, and you can tell he's like measuring your worth, looking at your equipment, what you carry. He takes a rag and he wipes his hands, pulls back the spectacles he has on, and he has this heavy leathern apron on, and you can see it's got burned marks, and you can see where like pieces of metal have hit it and little splotches on it. He comes walking forward, and from the furnace he was working on, and you can just feel the heat in this winter. It's still rolling from his body as he's approaching you. He's just hot just from that, but it's quickly evaporating from it, and you can smell coal on him, the smell of charcoal as it's burned away. And he doesn't extend his hand out because he's got a big, thick, heavy leather glove on, and he's still holding like a hammer. And he begins putting that on a hoop on his side. It drops into a little leather hoop, drops the hammer off, and he goes, "Morning." He takes the glove off, and the other one off, and he sticks it in between his belt and his apron. Can I help you?
Good morning. I am looking for supplies.
Well, we have...
I noticed you have some lovely weapons here.
He kind of stops what he was about to tell you when you he goes, yes, I do have some. Something in particular you're looking for?
Well, I'm looking to upgrade this rapier, and I show him my rapier.
He looks at it. It looks perfectly respectable. It's had some battles about it. You need to clean the blood off a little better. He kind of smiles.
I smile sheepishly.
He kind of looks down at you, listen, because you are a little bit shorter, and he goes, "Strange times we are in. Our peoples used to fight quite a bit. How can I help you?"
Strange times indeed. I need to stock up on my arrows at the very least while I'm here. Do you have any?
I do have some
I need
simple
some arrows too.
Fletchered items that I do have here. We make them out, but they've been Well, the military's been buying them up right and left. We don't have many supplies left, but see what I can get for you. Probably a couple quivers worth, about 40 arrows, basically. And
Perfect.
He goes,
Sounds great.
are you wanting work done to your rapier here, or are you looking just trying to find a better one that's made better, or a particular design or something done to this one? He rubs, he rubs his eyes. As you're having this conversation, Nick, I need you to give me a perception roll. And I got to make a... What is it?
That would be an 8.
All right. All right. So you're kind of like outside looking around while they're inside talking about stuff. Never mind. you're kind of like up against the building, and that's when the voice of Sister Wendy lands in your head again. Nick, I don't have much time. Just know they know where you are and they're looking for you. And then she stopped short of what more she could say. And then says, I owe you that much. Conversation
I send
starts.
back, thank you. And I go inside.
Yep.
And I kind of get everyone's attention. Like,
About this time, though, as you're moving in, he goes, so, sorry, as a game master, I was distracted momentarily, but he says, I say to you, Elizabeth, what are you wanting done to her sword, her rapier?
Well, what can you do?
What can Brecton do to the rapier? Well, certainly can't enchant it, but could add filigree to it. He could reinforce the pommel of it, things of that sort. The guard.
Ooh,
We could
yes,
engrave.
make it pretty.
Do that for you. You come back by tomorrow. It's a really simple thing to do.
Yes, please. That would be lovely. How much for that?
Just a few gold. It's not too much.
And how much for those arrows?
Standard price. I have to look it up. Sorry.
I'll look it up. But
Okay.
how about I pay you when I come collect the sword and the arrows tomorrow?
Pay me for. Oh, very well. That's fine. Tell you what.
I'm sorry. Did you have something else in mind?
Pay me half now, and tomorrow when you pick up, pay me the rest. When you pick it all up. Half of it is for the commission of the sword customization.
Okay.
And I will put aside the arrows in case the Empire comes asking for more.
All right. That's fair. So I will give you 1.5 gold today and 1.5 tomorrow.
And he sends his hand out to shake your hand.
I shake his hand.
Did you ever tell him his name? I don't know if you did.
Did he?
He goes, Brecton's. Good doing business with you. Kind of does that with
Blix.
Blix. Shakes your hand. Your small goblin hand and his dwarven hand. It's very warm and hot. It's an odd thing to see even now. It's not something you see. Dwarves and goblins are not too friendly towards each other. And the moment's kind of there for a second. It sinks in both your minds as you conclude your business, and he turns around with your rapier and goes back to begin work on it.
I feel good about this. I'm going to go ahead and see what Nick was. I see Nick coming through the door, and I go to see
Nick
what he wants.
approaching the group. Nick, do you have a look of concern on your face or anything, or?
Yes. Definitely like, hey guys, we need to go.
Tomorrow.
Probably now.
Well, we can hide out for one day, can't we?
And I tell her that Wendy and everyone else, I tell them that Wendy messaged me, told them that they know where we're at and they're on their way to get us.
Okay, well, I just gave up my main weapon.
Okay.
So it'll be ready tomorrow.
Unless you stop him right now, he's probably not like super into it yet.
I don't want to stop him.
Well, I need to buy
We
armor.
just had a moment here. I don't want to undo the moment. We had a moment.
So, like, how big of an alarm is this?
Nick
I mean,
says,
it took us a full day to get here. It'll take them a day to get here.
Nick says we need to go. We probably need to go.
Need to leave the house?
I know this sucks.
What does?
Because you need your weapon.
That's fine. Hey, Brecton.
He's like looking at it. He's kind of cleaning it up. Looks back at you. Do you have another request of something else you want added to it? I could certainly do like a mother of pearl inlay. It's actually not a bad rapier you have here. I'm looking forward to working on it. He says. He smiles.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to leave it with you today, but I'm going to leave that 1.5 gold with you as a sign of my gratitude. And the next time I come through Trostenwald, I'm going to seek you out to complete our transaction in the future.
He goes, "Oh, I hope all is well." As he goes and grabs up the arrows for you.
It's all is well, all is well. And I give him an extra 10 silver for being great.
That's not needed. I
I
understand.
know, but
Plans can change. It was good working with you. What we had a chance to do. Perhaps more
you
later.
know, it's not often that my kind are welcomed, and so I appreciate you.
He nods. Hands back your weapon to you. He's cleaned it already. It looks better already as he hands it to you. And you can see where he is actually etching a design on it. It would look very
Man,
nice.
he works fast.
He was drawing it on there like, this is what I think I want to do. But he kind of wipes that off as he hands it back to you.
Nick, you owe me.
Brexton, do you have any medium armor?
I'm going to say, oh, I have several types. What are you looking for exactly? What's your name, good sir?
Raphael.
Raphael.
I'm gonna go outside and kind of keep a better lookout and see what's going on.
Sure, you can make a active perception check again.
I follow.
So what's the best medium armor you have at the moment? And we'll work
Can
back.
you give me assistance, Pandora?
Let me pull up a.
Or you have higher perception?
My perception is 14 and proficient.
I hug Pandora's leg and pout.
Don't hump me.
I'm not humping you. You wish.
All right, then I'll assist you. You do perception.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm looking up options here for you.
Sure.
I'm not seeing any of Pandora's roles in chat.
Oh, I have it set to private GM role.
Ah,
I switched
you
it.
sneaky cat.
Super sneaky with my chainmail. Clink, clink, clink.
Man, I really wanted this guy to work on my sword. And
Yeah.
not in an innuendo sort of way.
He'll work that sword.
Yeah, also just FYI to everybody outside the game, magic items, stuff like that, are not going to be found in stores, especially little towns, even bigger cities. Probably won't find any kind of robes or swords or axes or bows or anything like that magical. Magical items are mostly found off of things that we kill or in dungeons.
I'm not looking for magical items. I just want better armor.
So he says, I have, he points to the breastplate over there. He goes, that is, medium. I have some scale mail and some chain mail. I don't have any half plate. He goes, they didn't take the breastplate over here because the man, when they came to confiscate for the Empire, the armor they have, honestly, I purposely made it look dirty. I didn't want to give it up. I had worked on it for some time. He goes, if you're interested in that, it runs about 400 gold.
I can do that.
He perks up an eyebrow on that one. He goes, I need a little time to fit it to you, a couple hours.
Do we have enough time for that, Nick? Or he's gone back outside, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Nick, outside, what'd you roll on your perception here?
Pandora did it. I assisted her, so she should have advantage.
See what we got here. All right. Yeah, so Pandora, you're kind of looking around, and once again, off on the side of a building, you see that tabaxi looking in your direction. As soon as you look in that direction, let's see if he notices you noticing him. Are you trying to be stealthy at all? Or are you just kind of like
Him?
looking around?
Just kind of levelly scanning.
So
I don't make.
give me a stealth. Just give me a private GM stealth check, please.
Okay.
So I'll need to get your measurements, Raphael, and so you have time now. I can begin the process now.
Well, we need to be leaving pretty quickly. Can you do this? I'll pay extra for, like, as fast as you can get it done.
It's going to take about 3 hours, regardless of what you pay. I don't mean to be rude, but you want it to
you're
fit
fine.
well, otherwise it will chafe and cut you and will not work as well as you'd like.
Right.
We still need to get food stores, and we probably might be able to stop by and see if I can get a cloak if they have anything on hand.
So you're looking in that direction, Pandora. You're just so excited about seeing another tabaxi that it's like dead obvious. It ducks back into the shadows and vanishes from the side of the building.
Well, we know who our spy is.
Nick, did
Not
you
that
see
I know that.
that tabaxi? Nick,
What was that?
did you see that tabaxi?
I thought I saw something, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Do you want to go investigate? I'll stay here. He seems to run from me, but I want to be his friend.
So you know he had green eyes and dirty gray fur. He was almost 7 feet tall. Had a very square and common cat tabaxi face, if you will. You also this time noticed on his right arm, his fur was discolored where an obvious scar was. He was taking some damage at some point. That's what you know, Pandora.
Like, yeah, we can go. Where'd you say you saw him?
He was right over there, and then he ducked back in behind that corner when he saw me notice him.
Okay.
But I don't want to scare him off.
Yeah. Well, we can go towards the alley, like keeping, not going to the alley to scare him off or anything like that, but just kind of so he can see us. But also, I want to keep an eye on the front door of the armory that we're at.
What if we walk backwards towards the alley?
Well, I was thinking I'd stay here by the door, and you could meander over by the alley and see if you see him.
I can do that.
All right. So you make your way over to the alley, Nick.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a shopping area, and there's various the alleyways kind of lead in between, and they're not like the small little alleyways, but they're wide enough for maybe a rickshaw or a small cart or laborers to carry boxes from the warehouses to other buildings. And it's been kind of overcast today. At about this time, a drizzle begins coming down over all of you, and you have to pull your cloak up. And you do see a sudden bit of movement at the far end of the alleyway that kind of darts around the corner away from you. Looks like
Okay.
the almost 7 foot tall individual. They stand out. They're quite tall.
Yeah.
Do you wish to pursue, or what do you want to do?
While he's thinking about that, I walk outside, see that he's not there to answer my question, go back inside and tell him to go ahead and take my measurements.
Fine. He goes, take your current armor off and your shirts, and let's get you on and he goes through the process, and you know you find yourself under with the undergarment shirt to protect you from chafing. Ties that on nice and snug. They then drop the armor onto you, and it's heavy. You know, while it's medium armor, it's still you can
Still heavy, right?
Yeah, and it is loose on you, and he begins tightening and pulling straps, marking down some notes and on a chalk on the actual armor itself. Like you take this much off here, move this here, take this strap here. Takes like this basically like a tailor would on clothing, making it custom fit you. Just takes a little time. Takes it off, makes some adjustments, and try it back on. Takes it off. This continues for a while. There's no actual metal cutting that has to happen, but it's really about moving straps around, punching holes, then riveting things to get that to kind of fit right, and that's what takes time. But back out out by the front, where there's Blix, Pandora, Katie, Kaziti, and Nick, you're not there. Of course, you're by the edge of the alleyway looking in. What do you wish to do?
I want to go over to the person who can make a cloak for me, or if they have anything on hand.
Okay, see here. Yeah, so that would be Asher Morningfall.
Do you guys want to come with me to Asher Morningfall? Might have some cloaks or something that you might need there. I'm not sure. Maybe a bigger rucksack, or I think you were still looking for a bag of holding, so I'm not really sure. But I'm going to head over there and see if I can get a little bit better cloak. This one's getting kind of old and tattered.
I'm going to wander over towards where Nick went, towards the alley.
Okay. So, you take off with the directions you got. You do find... I lost my notes here. Where is it? Asher Morningfall. It's you see the... like a wavy piece of fabric, like a sign with a needle that's jabbed through it in the design with a string kind of drawn out of it. That's what the wooden plaque looks like. That's usually the symbol of a clothier or someone who works with fabric. You walk in, and there's just bolts of fabric all about along the walls. There's clothing hanging down different racks and stuff, mannequins with clothing fitted around them. A lot of the mannequins are the dummies for fitting, are like hanging from the roof, and they have words written on like names of particular people, and they're like designed custom to their size and stuff. And you notice from your own knowledge to have a fitting dummy made for you is expensive for them to have that on stock and there. Kind of looks up the smell of the various fabrics kind of just comes onto you and blows into you. There's warmth, though, that comes out of this room as you walk in. A little bell dings above the door. There's no incense in this room, but there is a particular odor about the fabric itself. And, you walk into some rooms, they have a very hollow sound to them, and a slight bit of echo. The fabric here makes the sound pushes against you. It's very quiet and muffled. Your voice doesn't travel very far. The ding, while it goes ding, 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 it doesn't echo. It's ding, 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 and it stops, Sound doesn't travel very far in here. And back in the back, you see a mohawked individual with a very straight mohawk with almost a tabard like over them. And you see like little cushions with needles stuck in the cushions, like attached to the tabard. And they're just doing this back and forth motion. They kind of look up with you, and they got a one-eye spectacle looking in your direction with a chain going off to a little pocket. They take that off, and they lay the fabric down, take the needle, and they stick it in a little off to the side in some kind of padded receptacle. You're not sure what exactly from this distance, and kind of walk your direction. Let's see here. It's got a cropped brown mohawk and jet blue eyes. It's got kind of a soft chocolatey skin. It's got a very round, Germanic kind of face about them, as just to help you with the visualization here. Walks up to you, goes, "Afternoon, how can I help you?"
Hi, I was told that you are one of the better clothing makers here, and I'm needing a cloak that is thicker material than what I am wearing. This thing is wearing down as I am on my travels.
He just steps right up to you, doesn't even have permission, kind of takes a look at your cloak, walks around you, puts his hands across your shoulders, checks your waist size, and just looked at your overall height. I have several already made if that's what you're wanting, or you want something more custom. And he walks off to the side and shows you a rack of clothing and cloaks that are kind of arrayed out. And he pulls several out that he thinks might fit you. They're like, the reds and the greens and the grays and the browns. They're kind of laid out. And they are of a good, thick, water-treated cloak. Because I do have some that aren't treated, but I figured perhaps the weather is what brought you in.
Pretty much, yeah. This one's kind of taken somewhere from some different types of storms. On these, so you have these colors, and is there a difference in materials of these? Like, which one's more the sturdier and lighter of these cloaks that would fit?
Well, he goes into explaining that these are wool, and it's different types of wools, but these are more of the wool that's closer to the sheep itself, and he goes into why that's better, and it's softer, and how they make the threads. It's more than you really wanted to know, but basically he's telling you these are of a fine quality. They will last as long as you take care of them. They have been treated, and he says he'll even include the treatment as you need to do once in a while with them to keep them resistant to the weather.
Okay, how much for this gray or brown one?
He goes, well, he drops the price. It's 50 gold for these. These is much more than what you would normally pay for a cloak. You know that for sure. Normally just a couple gold at that.
I'm going to take the gray one.
All right.
Can you put, do you have time to quickly put a couple inner pockets on this for me?
He goes, he kind of folds it like that. He goes, it already has a couple receptacles here. He goes, how much bigger do you need them to be? Kind of looks at it and he goes, to hold the book perhaps? Components?
Yeah.
He goes, components, I assume.
Yeah, just mostly components. Yes, I don't need anything like to carry a sword or anything like that. That's not my wish, but just something to more carry, like maybe some herbs or some beads, maybe a small tome book.
Come back in about an hour. I'll have it ready for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I hand him the gold.
Very much. Or you're more than welcome to sit down and wait if you like. You don't have to leave. I know the weather is atrocious out.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and check on my friend. He's over at your smith down the way, and then I will be right back. I just want to see how that progress is going.
All right. So while you're doing all that, back to Nick, I think, and Blix. You'll kind of merge in the corner of the building. Nick's kind of looking down the alleyway. Here's some movement to your right, and you kind of glance back with your eye while not taking your face off the alley. Just kind of quick eye glance. You see Blix kind of shuffling in next to you. The rain's coming down. People are now clearing out of the streets. It's getting a little bit quieter.
I call out not too loudly, friend, wait, like we want to speak with you.
No response.
I cautiously move down the alley, trying to look as non-threatening as possible.
Okay. You make your way down the alley. Nick, what are you doing?
I am going to just go to like the alley entrance, but not like blocking it, but just kind of like just being there.
Wait, I have an idea. I am going to... Ooh, I have...
Nick, you know these alleys aren't dead ends. So blocking the exit here won't necessarily prevent.
I am going to pull out my nice shiny brass bell and make sure it's very visible. And if you can hear me, would you like my shiny bell? I ring my bell.
Well, don't hurt him. Just tell him no.
Your bell has been rung.
You don't hear a response.
All right, I continue on
Down
quietly, gently ringing my bell.
All right, well, you get to the end of the alleyway, and it branches off to the right.
Quietly, gently ringing a bell.
Right,
Shush.
right to the left of you. There's some more buildings and some more pathways out from here. But it doesn't go much further right or left. It's like 1 or 2 buildings down. Those dead end. But you see an exit going other streets on the other side, not back into the streets where you were. And once again, make me a perception check, please.
Yes, I will. 10.
Again, you see a small foot of movement, the farthest one to the left of you.
I gesture to Nick really quick, and I go running that direction, ringing my bell.
You see her, gesture towards you, Nick. What do you do?
I head into the alleyway towards her.
All right. So you're heading towards the where you saw the movement, right, Blix?
Mm-hmm.
So you make your way to that direction. Nick, you're just coming around the corner, and you see her, probably about 50 feet.
Being very Blixy.
About 50 feet, ringing the bell. She gets to the corner and looks around the corner, but that's when you hear movement to the right of you. And you see a tabaxi there with sharp green eyes that remind you of somebody, and a dirty gray fur. But what really does it for you is the scar on the arm.
That witch.
All right. I immediately take a step back and I put up my hands to show I'm not holding weapons or anything like that.
And of course, Blix, you're busy doing your thing. Haven't noticed Nick yet. And it has a dagger kind of like off to its side, drawn but not pointing at you. And you recognize this as 8 bats. You two had some back in your past, had some run-ins, and this son of a bitch has given you a hell of a chase from time and now and then, and has been kind of like your own mortal enemy, if you will. Many times you've been able to break the chase and get away from them, but to find him here and now, you're not sure of the reason why.
Okay. I call out Blix. I'm still
Yes?
standing there. I'm still standing there, non-threatening.
Oh, hello.
And he goes, there's a price on your head. I've been waiting to collect for some time.
From who?
Well, then you can't have my bell.
You didn't quite hear that conversation. It was very muffled.
Oh, sorry.
You're a good distance away.
Well, if I had heard it, I'd have kept my bell.
And as Blix is kind of getting closer, and he goes, we'll talk soon enough. And dashes down the alleyway away from you and jumps onto a building and climbs his way up and up and over. Your encounter with this individual has in your backstory. It's one of your enemies.
Yeah.
And so they're quite apt at what they do, and pursuing this individual. Possible, but they're very fast. What do you wish to do?
Did I see any of this?
No.
Okay.
Look, you're kind of like looking at this on top of a building and off into the rain. What do you want to do, Nick?
I watch him go, and as Blix comes up to me, I tell him, we need to leave.
Okay.
And I head back out, keeping an eye out, head back out of the alleyway, back to Bandora.
All right. All right, let me see here.
That took what, half an hour?
Not quite. It's just a few moments. All right. So you make your way back to Brechton's supplies, and you all kind of make your way back. Eventually, Cat shows up, and your armor is now shined on you, fitting very well, and you depart with 400 gold. Raphael,
I paid that.
be sure to reduce your armor or your monies from that. and you have an amazing piece of equipment now on you. It fits very well.
Yay.
Nick, you seem unsettled and you seem to feel like we're not staying here the week and that we need to move on. Am I wrong?
Yeah, just different things going on. We got the message from Wendy that we have people after us, and apparently I have some of my past coming to catch up to me.
I'm sorry, what? Say
Some
that
of my
last part
past-
again.
Some of my past is coming to catch up to me.
Did you find the tabaxi friend?
I did.
Is there anything that we need to know to help keep you safe?
Oh, just a price on my head from
Oh,
something long ago.
is that all?
That's it.
Is it a big price?
Or during service. Is this before the service or during service?
During service.
Shit.
Who is this price to?
What's that?
Who is this price owed to?
I'm not quite sure.
I'd say we could swindle him or pay him and then swindle him.
So, yeah, I
little
totally
complicated,
respect
yeah.
if you don't want to talk about this, and obviously now is not the time, but when things are calmer, I'm going to be asking about this again.
You should definitely be going though.
Yeah, I agree. We should definitely be going. You guys want to head on down to the Wuyan Gates? I think Ziti shook her head.
Yeah, sounds
I
good.
gotta swing back.
Oh
by-
my God! I can't believe I've run into you here. You recognize the voice. It's the young lady Christina, Miss Splitter, part of the brewery family. And she comes
Yes.
walking up to you, Cats, and she even compliments you on your new cloak and how beautiful it is. And she recognizes the work and begins talking about how well he does, what kind of work he does. And then she shows off her current cloak she has, and this is one of his.
Oh.
Yeah. Suddenly you have a moment with her, and then she kind of stops suddenly. And she goes, "Oh, you must come to my family's home this evening, and I mentioned them about you. I mentioned y'all to them, and well, my family would love to meet you."
Let me check with my crew and see if we would like to come over. Give me 2 seconds, and thank you for the thing on the cloak. Yeah, they does great work. He gave me little pockets and everything. I'm so happy with it, and I love the new cloak that you have. And I walk over. Just one moment. I walk over to Nyx. Hey Nyx, they're offering us some beverage, and
She walks over while you're doing that. She walks over and begins talking to Brexton and having a conversation with him. They seem to know each other quite well. Anyway, so you walk over and
walk over to Nyx, and I said, "Well, they're offering like beverage and food and to meet her family. So I don't know if you guys want to go. It's outside town, right?
it's up kind of where the noble families are. It's one of the more secure, safe areas in town.
It's one of the more secure, safe areas, and offering us to stay the night."
No.
We
No.
got to go.
Yeah.
Heard, but has a price on his head. We're not safe here. We got to
All
go.
right.
We also have
Also,
Wendy's message that all the stuff, the artifact that we didn't take care of and all that stuff, they're coming after us.
yeah, sorry about that, folks.
So we got 2 parties coming after us.
You
Yeah.
got a price on all of your heads, really.
So I kind of walk back over to her and say, we would love to stay, but unfortunately we've got to usher onto no town. We just found out that we had some business that was happening like tomorrow morning, so we've got to go tonight.
It has gotten worse.
I'd love to meet up with you when we come back through here. Is that okay?
Well, I understand. And she kind of walks with you towards the door. As you're all making your way out, Raphael, you got your armor on. Raphael and Nick, all of you are making your way out. Blix, as you're making your way out, you hear a Blix.
And I turn around to see what that is about.
He takes a knee real quick, and he kind of waves you over as your friends are making their way out.
I go over.
He kind of leans forward. I didn't mean to eavesdrop on your conversations, but you really weren't being quiet about it. Your friends are in trouble.
Somewhat, yes, unfortunately.
There is a friend here in town who does shipments. Let's say, kind of points to a table, kind of like, under quietly.
I nod knowingly.
Because if you're needing help, he works with one of the brewery families here. He points to the young lady, specifically her family. She doesn't know.
Thank you very much for the
But they could
input.
possibly get you out of here quietly.
Much appreciated.
He goes, oh no. He pats the gold on his side. Much appreciated. He stands up, turns back around.
All right, I turn around and rejoin the party. And hey, ZD, you know what? I think we really do want to take her up on that offer. I could use a good hot meal, and I'm dying to meet her family.
Okay.
And I kind of wink at Nick.
Nick.
I nod. Like, yeah, maybe we have time for that.
Okay,
Alright.
let me go back over to her and let her know. Hi, how you doing? I'm so sorry to be bothering you, but it seems that our party has decided to stay the night and reconsidered. Apparently, the people objecting decided that they really needed a rest.
Oh, that's so
So
great.
joyful.
So great. Come on, let's go. And she
Oh,
almost
great,
skips
let's go.
down the road with you. She's so excited.
And then I walk over to Blix and I whisper in Blix's ears, "You're gonna tell me why, right?" And then she kind of whatever nods, and I walk back over and go, "Okay, let's go."
So while ZD was having that conversation, I was whispering to Raphael and Nick and Pandora to just in as few words as possible, very, very quietly say that this woman doesn't know it, but her family's involved with people who can maybe get us out safely.
So in
Also,
chat, I'm gonna
we need to
post-
have quieter conversations.
in chat. I'm posting a name. This is the name that Brexton dropped for you. This is
Thank
the
you.
person you want to talk to. Oop, I made that GM only. Let me. There we go. All right, the name's in chat in roll 20. I'm sorry, not roll 20. Foundry. So you get led through town quickly and make your way up to the higher district, and you actually, I wouldn't call it a gated area, but there are some low slung walls around the buildings here and the the larger family estates as you're making your way in. And she's
As we're walking through, I'm telling her, the lady, that why I have a piece of paper out and a scroll is because I've been like marking down like the city and making a little map.
all right. It's rough because of the water and stuff, but you're doing your best.
Yeah.
And she turns corner, and up ahead of you, you do see one of the more plush residences as you're making your way up to it. And you see they do have, off to the back ends of it, you see what appear to be some guest villas, if you will. And she's kind of like just all excited talking about the stuff. And you see smoke coming out of the chimneys of the house, warm, welcoming lights on the inside of it. But you see some individuals like coming and going. So while it is a residence, it looks quite busy. And then we're going to stop for the night.
Perfect. I took notes. I am saving my notes.
Right now.
Control S. Look, it's saved. I have saved my notes.
Now send.
Yay.
No, I have to clean them up. These are really rough notes. I was just like typing every single word that I could possibly squeeze in the whole time.
Yay. Yeah, my notes are like on my other whichever, and it's on a particular platform on there, and so I haven't even had a chance to move it over since the new hard drive. So
On paper. You can't have them. Wow.
Night, everybody.
Unfortunately, I wish
Bye,
I did.
Nick.
Good night, Nick.
Night, Nick.
Night.
Thank you, Hexa.
Thank you, Hexa.
I'm posting
Thank
a
you
couple of
very
things
much.
in chat for you, Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Just so you know.
eight bats.
Eight
With
bats. That's the
prestidigitation.
guy's name that was given Nick.
Oh, eight. I'm sorry. 8 bats was.
The,
What was that?
Tabaxi on Nick.
Oh, gotcha.
No, I couldn't add prestidigitation, could I? No.
And that's it. Oh,
Alright.
and the young lady, right? That would be,
Christina or something.
yeah.
Oh, Christiana. Okay.
Got it, Christiana.
Christiana. Okay, perfect. I have added that to my notes and resaved my notes.
Awesome.
Whew. Thank you for tonight. I had a lot of fun. I felt like the most exciting part of the stream was the part that wasn't streaming, but that's okay. But we've got it sorted. No, we've got it, hopefully sorted out next time.
Yeah,
And
I'm hoping so, because that really sucked.
I bet you that's what happened to our last session
I think so.
on the 16th. Yeah.
Anything. Yeah.
All right. Good thing that Chris had someone wanting to watch. All right. Talk later, you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Hey, Warren, real
Yeah.
quick. My prestidigitation is a cantrip.
Yes.
Okay.
So you'll have to,
That's why we didn't.
change
that's why
things
we-
out if you want it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because that one I physically have to go into D&D Beyond and set it before game. Is there a way to change my cantrips actually in Foundry without having to do that?
You can do it in Foundry. Yeah, you just unselect and reselect things as needed.
Well, no, I mean it's one. I'm only allowed to choose 4 period out of the cantrips. It won't let me choose more than the 4. That's what I was saying. In D&D Beyond, it went everything else, yeah, but not the cantrips. I've tried it in the sheet. We knew that didn't work, and I've tried it in the where you go into the end and you do it all there when you have everything pulled up. And I've gone back to where I actually rebuild the character, and so I go in there to actually select spells, and it won't let me. Either get rid of one of the cantrips I already have completely, or it won't show. That's why I was like, is there a way to get around it in Foundry?
I'll take a look at it and I'll let you know.
Okay,
what's up with
thanks.
that.
I think that was
I think you have a limited number per level, but I'll check on. I think you can change them because it's available, but I'll look
Yeah,
into it.
I know I can switch off spells of what I have prepared, of how many I have in that row, because it shows it in Foundry. But the cantrips, I remember we couldn't change. It had to be those 4, or that was it.
Well, you have to dememorize and change things. I'll have to look at it. I think you have to actually. It's part of your leveling. I'll check into that. It's been some time since I've dealt with wizards. But I will let you know. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.